When moving into the mind, judgment starts from this intake to assess and then reassess its creation. So why is it that how useful something is and makes the difference that it can between appreciation and depreciating it? How is it possible for the illusion that reflects as real to be projecting its values onto the self? Only when the self becomes unconscious can depreciation be the reflect of this way to motion further. Eventually, the only choice left in this illusion will be to wake up or recycle before its time. Of course, this is all an illusion to get you thinking about all this false evidence appearing as real. Into that vibration we all know as fear. Welcome to day 347, lesson 302, pages 811 and 12, in continuation with pointer number 14 on what is gratitude and appreciation. So take a few deep breaths in. And out. And find that inner stillness. That peaceful place from within. And anchor through your heart space center. And every time we breathe in and blend out to the many multi-dimensions, the many paradigms that might flow through us energetically and out, and how we feel and how we project with our projector, our pineal gland, and how we are able to keep all our inner serotonin, melatonin, and all these beautiful chemicals working in perfect chemistry, alchemically, and releasing all the dopamine and endorphins with every breath, how we feel that calmness. Like a nice breeze flowing through and reanimating and animating our world with every breath in and out. This is our hologram, our assimilation. Step into that light of sovereignty and empower yourself. Take your power back and be the creator of your own reality. And your circumstances are outcomes, these projections of your state of being. All these borrowed thoughts and projections that might have never been yours to begin with, just release them. Thank you for serving me well. And bring in those thoughts, those feelings of what it is you do prefer. With every breath in and out. And with that said, whenever you're ready, And let's begin today's activation affirmation. My limiting thoughts come from a subconscious place only when I can be in love, open and aligned within heart space does the source energy flow through. Take another deep breath in and out. My limiting thoughts come from a subconscious place only when I can be in love, open and aligned within heart space does the source energy flow through. And take another deep breath in and out. My limiting thoughts come from a subconscious place only when I can be in love, open and aligned within heart space does the source energy flow through. So how can appreciation even exist when it has a dual component that can cancel it out? Well, I think I mentioned this before in the previous lessons, because we can't keep bringing in and bringing in, because that creates clutter, right, into our space. So from its composition, gratitude can be further explored. Perhaps today can be this lesson, and from its various tones of perspectives, genre of emotion, and the plethora of appreciation in any given particular moment, no matter how subtle, grasp it. When is it not meaningful to be grateful? The expectations hardly ever match the actual experience. Infuse it with a newer form of energy and see what gets created. Similar to faith, however, appreciation is a feeling of giving value more so than the certainty of intuitively feeling, and can work very well with faith. My limiting thoughts come from a subconscious place only when I can be in love, open and aligned with heart space does the source energy flow through. As above and so below, and outward from inward and outward inward. It's these figure eights into two different distinct worlds, and to four, if you will, as in the chamber of our heart space center. The atriums and the ventricles, left and right, including of the higher mind. And we keep going, and just breathe that in for a moment. And feel it going up into your pineal gland. And project all there is that you prefer. And feel it through your heart into your hologram. Many experiences have never matched when the self had actually stepped into it, and gratitude was the soothing component to nurture self with that's all right when the expectations do not match the outcome. And I just explained why. because all four have to be synchronized and aligned. One without the other is incomplete. So most of the time we only get it half right. And that's the secret. Have to not only think it and convince yourself of feeling it, because a lot of the times it's more powerful when we feel it and we don't have any expectations at all. So when the self, with much gratitude, can learn to let go of opposition and resistance, because its opinions of what it does prefer might not match with the rest of the world as factual, that fractal of itself. The symptoms is the system, and from the many it reflects it back to self. So when the self can release the what is such comparisons, it can allow for more creative energy to come through, and sometimes it can be created for something even more magical in the way of its state of being and how it feels, and it will be surprised. The question is can it accept it? Because not all the time will it make any sense. And the other thing that we must keep in mind here is to remove all criticism. We are our own worst critics, not only of others, but of ourselves. So once we release that, then we can better accept and give ourselves permission, and others too. So these are the miracles that the self did not even know were possible. The purpose for today is for that of self to not always have to know, and from a heart-centered space, it must allow itself to be forever curious and explore that source from this, its creative energy. Thank you so very much for joining me here today, and until next time, let's see where we can be activated and supported with these words for today. My limiting thoughts come from a subconscious place. Only when I can be in love, open and aligned within heart space, does the source energy flow through. My limiting thoughts come from a subconscious place. Only when I can be in love, open and aligned within heart space, does the source energy flow through. My limiting thoughts come from a subconscious place. Only when I can be in love, open and aligned within heart space, does the source energy flow through. This was an audiovisual version of my book named after my ministry, The Sovereign Light, and this is a course in metaphysical spirituality. And my name is Reverend Maria Arvanitidis. Thank you so very much. Bye-bye now.